Welcome back to the Lion's Legion, Lancers. Smash, smash, and more smash. In today's video tutorial, we will review my strategy and tactics utilized when unleashing my Colossus Javelin by maximizing its overall damage and survivability potential. My Colossus fire-based build entitled Phoenix is on exhibition in the gameplay. I'll link the build video in the description below. In that video, I reveal my components, gear, and weapons with inscriptions to showcase how I am able to provide a synergy between the components, gear, weapons, and inscriptions to maintain high damage on all damage sources to include the ultimate ability. This is done all while maintaining effective fire damage and high survivability. If you are new here, then welcome. This channel is your source for Anthem Grandmaster 3 tier builds and loadouts for the Colossus, Interceptor Ranger, and Storm Javelins, as well as tips and tutorial videos on how to maximize your Javelin's damage and survivability potential for Grandmaster 3. If you enjoyed the content here at the Lion's Legion, like and subscribe to join up with the rest of the Lions and Lionesses. Also click the bell so that you'll be notified of every video upload. So let's get into today's topic. Now, it is important to first understand the purpose of the Colossus Javelin. The Colossus's role is to be the tank and heavy damage dealer across small confined zones. When visualizing the zone that my damage will affect as a Colossus, I generally think of the spawning zone that the enemies utilize when gating into a location. This zone is also the relative explosive blast range of the Colossus's ultimate ability. Now, out of all of the javelins, the Colossus's damage and survivability potential is unrivaled. Thus, the Colossus is easily the easiest javelin to pilot and easily the easiest javelin to pilot to solo Grandmaster 3 content. As the tank javelin, it deals high explosive blast damage. Blast damage in Anthem deals damage to all targets within its area of effect. The damage sources from the Colossus Javelin that detonate combos are all blast damage. It is important to note that all explosive damage deals blast damage. And why does this matter? Let's use the Divine Vengeance, which is also my favorite assault rifle by the way, as an example. The inherent effect of the Divine Vengeance is that every third weak point hit triggers a large fire explosion. This explosion deals blast damage, and thus the blast damage increase inscription can increase the amount of damage dealt by this explosion. So if an ability causes an explosion, then the blast damage inscription will increase the ability's damage. Most of the Colossus's arsenal allows for explosive blast damage through its heavy artillery, but the Colossus's true power lies in its ability to deal massive explosive blast combo damage. The highest damage sources for the Colossus are actually few. These are the Colossus's combo damage, its melee, and ultimate ability. This also speaks to the intent of the Colossus's design. The Colossus is all about getting into the thick of the battle with high sustain, dealing massive explosive blast damage within small confined zones, or sitting back and raining heavy artillery to deal massive explosive blast damage from a distance. Therefore, when truly unleashing the Colossus, we must maximize the Javelin's highest damage sources while not neglecting the Javelin's survivability. Believe it or not, but even when considering the massive amount of armor that the Colossus boasts, the Colossus can still be built as a glass cannon. Therefore, as we scale up in content difficulty, we want to scale up in our armor and shields, prioritizing armor first. Now that we understand this, we should note that the armor sigil uniquely benefits the Colossus, as it boasts heavy armor and in large amounts. Additionally, the Colossus's shield has to be manually raised in order to block incoming damage. Also, when considering the Colossus component shock treatment, which increases the Colossus's damage output as it sustains damage, we can clearly see how increasing our survivability through armor sigils can have a devastatingly beneficial increase to both our damage output and survivability simultaneously. Next are status effect sigils. Status effect sigils are acid, lightning, fire, and ice sigils. These sigils uniquely benefit the Colossus for one reason: massive explosive blast damage combo detonations. And this is simply because of the high amount of raw damage that the Colossus deals. And we must remember that the status effects deal bonus damage to certain health types, i.e. acid and fire deals bonus damage to yellow bar armored enemies. Therefore, the combo sigil greatly benefits the Colossus, as combos are one of Anthem's highest damage types within Anthem's damage system, and the Colossus reigns supreme here. Additionally, melee inscriptions and sigils greatly benefit the Colossus, as the Colossus is the heaviest melee hitter. Not to mention that the Colossus has the Berserker Cry heavy support gear that grants the Colossus and friendly Lancers within its cast radius with a 200% melee damage increase. Smash, smash, and more smash. And as for inscriptions, the blast damage increase inscription, as previously mentioned. The combo blast damage increase inscription, which is the Colossus's combo damage increase inscription. And lastly, acid or elemental inscriptions. Now, all of the Colossus's components are good at what they are purposed for. So for this topic, we will focus on the Javelin's basic combo damage increase component and the blast damage increase component. Those components are the Catalytic Overdrive component, which increases the Colossus's combo damage by an additional 50%, and Emblem of Destruction, which increases all blast damage by 15%. Now, this component's increase may seem underwhelming, but when paired with the Shock Treatment component that increases our Ordnance Launcher's damage by 5% and our overall damage output as we take damage up to a total of 80% additional damage, we can begin to see how this can begin to scale up our damage even the more. In summary, we discussed unleashing the Colossus for maximum devastation through utilizing blast damage inscriptions, armor inscriptions and sigils, combo blast damage inscriptions coupled with acid or elemental inscriptions or sigils, melee inscriptions or sigils, and finally key Colossus components. I hope that you found the information, insights, and tips to be useful in unleashing your Colossus Javelin through maximizing its overall damage output and survivability. Remember to click that like button for the video. You can also click the subscribe button to join up with the rest of the Lions Legion. Share the video as well, and help other Lancers at Fort Tarsus increase their legend. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And to all my Lions and Lionesses out there in the Legion, smash, smash, and